Morning, fellow INTERPEEPS. I am Scarab, which is Scarabic Enterprises. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Let me know how you're doing in the comments, and especially today, leave them in the comments. I have some interesting things I'm about to discuss. I'm not going to leave this be a very, very long and drawn out thing, but I will leave you with some information that is the future of this channel and the future of me. I've been looking into game development for years now. I've been working on several ideas for years now. And no, I am not going to say, hey, yeah, have a game, because game development takes a very long time. But I will say this, the amount of work that I have been in my own time, outside of YouTube, outside of Twitch, outside of music, I've been... whenever I feel the spark, I've just been, boosh, here is some information, here is some really cool concepts and some really cool ideas, and I've been putting them to paper. The only limitations I had was technology. For a couple of the games that I'm going to be releasing, one, I had a 3-page short story. Just a simple 3-page short story that I wrote when I was... late teenager, early 20s maybe. Well over a decade ago, I wrote this 3-page story. And I remember showing it to my mother when she was alive, who was an established writer herself. And she said, you need to make this into a novel. Cool, that's a very good reception from a very good writer. She went, there's stuff here that needs improving. You need to fix this. You need to give more information about this. What the fuck happened between here and here doesn't make sense. But the concept, the idea around it, the way you word things, very descriptive, paints a picture. Where's the rest of it? Make it a novel and let me read it. Now, my mother is dead. She has passed on, but my idea hasn't. Instead of making it a novel, I'm making it a video game. Now, this is why this is really, really cool, in my opinion, is because I think the way that I'm going to be making this game is so simple and easy to execute, putting my other ideas aside, but this being maybe my first game that I will be happy to release on a story that is well established, that I've already thought about and already it's a world that I am familiar with, that I created, I brought into existence, like has like a very deep narrative. But I'm going to be adding different elements to the game. It is interesting ways I can come up with. I don't know how it's going to be received because the game's not made yet. I don't know how people are going to see it because it's coming from my fucked up mind. But I do have that spark that goes, you know, you've got this. You know exactly who these people are, you know exactly where you want the story to go, and you know exactly how to get from A to B. And that is in terms of making a game, and also the plot, the narrative, and introducing, not just keeping it or of those the above. I know how to implement these things. I've been knee-deep in research for the last few years. Ever since I started my channel, I've been looking into game development and coding and like just trying to figure out exactly what the fuck I wanted to make. Now I know. The only thing limiting me was hardware. Now, I have access to that hardware. I'm upgrading my computer at the end of this month. And at the end of that month, I am going to be a full-time indie developer. Now, in regards to my mental health and physical health, I'm working on it. I've seen a doctor. I have a mental health care plan in the works, and I am going to see if there's anything that can help me, especially with like determining whether or not I have ADHD, that sort of thing. I've got a psychologist that is helping me get through some trauma for my complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I am on top of my mental health, and it's only going to get better and better and better with time. It's a very difficult transition. So that is going to be a rough start for me personally, having to transition, especially if they put me on some sort of like ADHD medication or something like that. Then I'll run a test period. If I'm not comfortable, I'll get off it. But let's see how it works, right? So this is the key, is that I am on top of my mental health. I have been exercising every day, doing my push-ups, doing my weights, trying to get as fit as I possibly can. So then it's less stress on my back, less mental I feel about how I am physically, the better I can be creatively. Creatively. I said it weird. Anyway, the better I can be creatively, which means I can finish my album that I am going to be making for charity. I'm still not going to charge anyone any money for that goes toward me. It will be going straight to charity. So when that album is complete, you guys will know about it. But also keep in mind, I am working day in and day out on releasing these games. Now, you can't see it on screen because I intentionally angled the camera in this way so then you can't see the piece of paper that is in front of me. But I have so much I want to tell you. And for it to be just off frame, I understand that it is a bit of a tease. But I'll say this. I'm turning some of my games into franchises, which are not just video games, but they will have board game adaptations. Through the process, I've realized that one of the games that I'm developing that has very complex systems in play will actually work for a board game idea that I've had a long time ago that I can put into the virtual space and make it into a video game too. So my studio, Heavy Heart Digital or Heavy Heart Tabletop, they are going to be hand in hand. If you can play the video game, you can play the board game. Now, this isn't for every game. I'm just saying for 2 games that I have planned in development. 1, you got the video game. 2, you got the board game. So the people that play the board game go, I wonder what it's like on a console or a PC. You can do that. I don't know how the timeline between them is going to cross over, because I do need to develop one before the other, or the other before the other, if that makes sense. But the idea and the core concepts are there. The storyboard is there. The ideas and the complex system that I'm going to be implementing, they're getting worked on, and eventually they'll get there. The way that I know that this is going to be successful is because I am so fucking passionate about video games as a whole. I've wanted to make games since I was a child, and now that I'm finally at the stage where I'm understanding what C++ coding is about, I understand not even C++, but beyond. I know different types of codings. I know how they function and the way that they work. And you don't need to know a complex amount of coding to be able to make a video game. To make some of the things that I'm about to do, I will need help. But for the core principles of my first game, I don't need to know any of it. Because Unreal Engine 5 already has the majority of it pre-coded. All I have to do is put A into slot B, connect that into that, that into that, that into that, make some, and then boom, I've got a game. On Twitch, I will be streaming. I am not necessarily going to show you the screen. There could be some artwork that I'm working on and be like, I would like to put this into a game, or this is the concept art or anything like that. Then yeah, sure, I will. Maybe on A-Sprite or something, I might stream myself creating some stuff, just some concept art or something like that. More than happy to do that. But for the most part, I think that it will just be a face cam, some music, and me typing away at a keyboard while I talk to you guys. And I might discuss a few gameplay features, maybe discuss how, like, what the best way to implement those into a video game or something. Not sure. Not exactly sure about what is going to happen, but for the channel, we're going to finish up a lot of the series that we've been doing. So Half-Life is going to be finished. Silent Hill 4 is going to be finished. Traveler's Rest, we're going to continue as best we can, make it as interesting as we can, and see how far we can make it into the game. But as far as 2 videos a week goes, I think for now it will be that. But in the near future, it might die down. Because, well, I'm going to be a full-time indie game developer, and I need all of my resources to go towards that, and also towards the album that I want to finish before, hopefully, before the end of this year. I now have the ability to create something I've wanted to create ever since I was a very small child. I want to be able to create a video game that will be remembered for years and years and years to come. This isn't my first game. My God, I'm not going to say that my first game's got to be groundbreaking. It will have a deep narrative, and it will hopefully be well received. But the bigger picture of the games that I'm going to create are not only going to work in a video game landscape, they're going to work in a board game landscape. And then anything that I create from there on in, Heavy Heart Digital or Heavy Heart Tabletop, there it is, will be brand new and will provide you more entertainment than you know what to do with. I've put my absolute everything into what I've created so far, and I'm only scratching the surface. I can't even bring to words how excited I am, because basically today I've just been given the job of, you are now a full-time indie dev. You are not limited by technology. You are not limited by creativity or a publisher telling you to do this within this time frame. I am not limited by any external factor. I can take my time and I can create something that is worth playing. I can take my time and I can create something that is so goddamn good, in my opinion, that I hope that everyone else will follow along and go, hey, that's different. I like that. I don't know how to sell myself as a game developer. This is my first time doing so, and I'm half cut. So I just want you to know I am genuinely working really hard, and I have really good ideas, and everyone that I've talked to so far, including indie developers themselves, as well as gamers and board gamers alike, have all thought, yeah, that's really good. They're good concepts, good core concepts. Keep up the good work. I can't wait to see it. I have a lot to live up to. So that being said, thank you to those who helped get me here, and stay tuned, because shit is only getting started, and I am very excited. And that is the worst when that happens, when I'm trying to do an outro. So, yeah. Peace, love, and happiness, and I hope I didn't break my phone.